Hey guys, welcome back to Team Sprays, and today we will be looking at the Toronto Raptors' upcoming regular season schedule and playoffs. So, let's get started off by discussing the new 8 games coming, and the first game is against the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh my God! Wow!
So, we have King James up against the defending champs, and guys, we are going to have an intense one because this matchup can be an NBA Finals. But for now, I can see the Lakers storming off in a tight win. Okay, so the next game is the Toronto Raptors taking on the Miami Heat. Obviously, the Miami Heat have a good core consisting of Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and Jimmy Butler. This, fellas, is a very good core, but Pascal Siakam, in my opinion, can handle Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo while complementing Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet, which will really help the Raptors. So, in the end, I see the Raptors also winning in a tight one. But in this next game, I see we have Toronto Raptors taking on the Orlando Magic. And people, let me tell you, the Magic, I don't think they even stand a chance against the Raptors. This year, Vucevic has shown that he cannot lead the team, and DJ Augustine and Evan Fournier have digressed from last year. So I see the Raptors blowing out the Magic. And then we have the Raptors taking on the Boston Celtics. And this game was going to be a very tough one for the Raptors because this can be a possible second-round matchup. And if the Raptors can pull off a win here, it can show that they can beat the Celtics in the playoffs. But Jason Tatum has shown he can lead the Celtics past the Raptors. But again, we have Pascal Siakam, a guy who has been an All-Star starter and a possible All-NBA player. So I see also another tight game and a very exciting, intense one, and the Raptors pulling up the win. Next, we have the Raptors against the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis has a good core of John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., which are both very young and uprising duos, but they are very too young and very too young to take on the pressure of Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry. So I can see the Raptors having two scenarios in this, which both of them having a win. So the first one is a blowout, and the second one's a little bit tight game. Overall, the Raptors are going to win this one. So now the next game moving forward are the Raptors taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee has been incredible, leading by their superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo. I said that wrong. Giannis. So Giannis, he's a future MVP. Well, he is one right now. But Giannis is way dominant than Shaq. Yes, I said it. He's dominant than Shaq. Giannis can do everything. He can score the ball, he can rebound, and he can shoot. So I can see the Bucks winning this overall, but I think the Raptors can put up an intense fight. So there we go. Bucks are going to win this. Next, we have the Raptors versus the 76ers. Philly has been very terrible this season, and they've shown that they have chemistry issues, so probably in the offseason they're going to make something up, trade Tobias Harris or something. But for now, I can see the Raptors beating the 76ers, also in a tight game. And the last game for the regular season is going to be the Raptors taking on the Denver Nuggets. This game is to be decided depending on how COVID-19 handles things. But if we were going to play this game, I can see the Nuggets pulling off the win. But at the same time, the Raptors have a pretty good chance because I can only see the Nuggets having one star in Jamal Murray and Jokic. Wait, no. I don't think Jamal Murray is a star, so I probably think the Nikola Jokic will have to take down the Raptors, but Pascal Siakam can hold him up, and Kyle Lowry, he can do the job done, so I can see the Raptors winning this game. So there we go. So overall, I have the Raptors losing to the Lakers, winning against the Heat, winning against the Magic, winning against the Celtics, winning against the Grizzlies, but losing to the Bucks, winning against the 76ers, and winning against the Nuggets. And now moving forward to the NBA 2020 playoffs. where we can see a lot of great matchups. So I'm going to go over each one of the matchups. So I'm going to go over round 1, which is Milwaukee against Orlando. Obviously, this is pretty easy. Milwaukee has a 53-12 record, while Orlando has a 30-35 record. Again, like I said, Orlando is pretty trash. They haven't shown much this season. I'm pretty surprised that they made the 8th seed. But yeah. So I have the Milwaukee Bucks sweeping the Orlando Magic in 4 games. Next, moving on to the Western Conference, we have the Los Angeles Lakers taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. John Morant has led the Lakers in a very surprising season, right? They were projected to go last in the conference, but he's proven that he can be a superstar, upcoming superstar, and I think he can take a game out of the Lakers, but I obviously see the Lakers winning in 5. Next, moving on to the Eastern Conference, we have the 2-seeded Toronto Raptors, who have a 46-18 record, going against the Brooklyn Nets, who have a 30-34 Nets. I have a friend named Momin. He's obviously a Nets fan, but I have to tell him this, that the Nets aren't going to win because who do they have? No Kyrie, no KD, only Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't think they can do anything. So I see the but I can see Karis LeVert dropping like 50 or 40 and taking a game, but I see the Raptors winning in 5. Okay, moving so quickly. So next we have the Los Angeles Clippers taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Wow, the Mavericks has a 7 seed. I did not see this coming because Luka Doncic, he's been balling out. And Kristaps too. Luka can do some really good stuff here. But the Clippers are too good. Kawhi, Paul George, and the bench of the Clippers, too much for them. I can see the Clippers winning this series by, I'm going to say 6 games. I don't think they can go to 7, but 6 games is fine. Okay. Next up, we have the Boston Celtics taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Boston and Philly, this is going to be an exciting round 1 because we've seen them have their rivalry. And this game, I think it's going to go to the Boston Celtics, who have a 53-21 record. Boston, Jason Tatum balling out, most improved player, maybe. He's going to lead his team over the Philadelphia 76ers. But obviously, this is a very good series for a round 1 matchup. This game is going to 6. Next up, we have the Denver Nuggets versus the Houston Rockets. And guys, what I'm going to say now is going to shock you because the Nuggets are the 3 seed and the Rockets are the 6 seed. I'm going to say the Rockets are going to win. I know this is crazy saying the 6 seed is going to beat the 3 seed, but Houston has proven that they're good. They have Westbrook and Harden, 2 MVPs, and I think judging what I've seen in the playoffs, I think they have a pretty good chance. And while the Nuggets are an upcoming team, leading by a young Nikola Jokic, they have some building to do, or coming by playoff time, and I don't think they're a playoff team, so they need to do a bit of work. So I think Houston's gonna pull off the upset. Next up, we have the Miami Heat taking on the Indiana Pacers, and guys, when Victor Oladipo came back, I didn't see the old Victor Oladipo, right? So I can see this game intense a few times, but I think the Miami Heat's gonna win in 5. And last, we have the Utah Jazz against the Oklahoma City. This matchup is very controversial for both sides, but I can see the Oklahoma City winning this and the Utah Jazz winning this. But Chris Paul is one of my favorite players. He's very good, and I think he can pull off this win because we've seen him in playoffs. He can lead teams. And Utah, also, again, like Utah, they're like Denver. They're an upcoming team with young players. They're not really built for the playoffs. So I can see the Oklahoma City Thunder winning the series in 7. Okay, so now we have round 2. So we have the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Boston Celtics. And let me tell you, again, we have another exciting matchup because we have one of the best teams clashing against each other. And I can see this matchup going again in Game 7, where Milwaukee Giannis can take on Jason Tatum and win this series in 7. Let me tell you, the series is going to be tough and intense. So Boston, you guys can pull off the upset, but I can see Milwaukee winning in 7. Okay. So next we have the Los Angeles Lakers taking on the 6-seed Rockets. And Lakers versus Houston, I can see Westbrook and Harden trying to push up the pace, trying to win the series, but overall, King James, LeBron James, my favorite player, he's too much. We've seen how he does in playoffs. And if you put Anthony Davis with them, I think that's a championship contender, and I don't think Houston can put up with that. So I think the series is going to 6. Next up, we have the 2-seeded Toronto Raptors taking on the 4-seeded Miami Heat. And Miami and Toronto, oh God, let me tell you, this is going to be a fun one. Because Miami has a good core of Jimmy Buckets, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero. But again, Toronto, back to past champions. They are so good. Pascal Siakam, he can show that he can be a superstar. And I can see the Miami Heat getting destroyed by the Raptors in 6 games. Next up, we have the LA Clippers taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. And Oklahoma, let me tell you something. Oklahoma will ball out against the Clippers. Chris Paul against Kawhi. Many seem that's not a good matchup, but I think that is. So I'm going to take this series to 5 games. I know I just said Chris Paul is a good player, but we forgot that the Clippers have Paul George, and he'll be the main player in the series. So now we have the Eastern Conference Finals. The Toronto Raptors taking on the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Clippers taking on the Lakers. I know I might be biased here again with the Raptors, but we've seen what they've done against the Bucks last year. But people say that the Raptors can do nothing in the playoffs without Kawhi. Well, people thought this year the Raptors were going to be like the 8th seed, the 7th seed, but they've proven people wrong. Pascal Siakam was balling. He was showing people wrong. And look what they're here now as the 2th seed. So I can see the Raptors beating the Milwaukee Bucks in 7 games and proving fans wrong, people wrong, that the Raptors can be a very good team. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Lakers taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. The Battle of LA. Who knew the 2 LA teams would be here? Right? But we have Paul George and Kawhi taking on LeBron and AD. And this series, best series we've ever seen in NBA history. I'm telling you that. I see the Clippers beating the Lakers in 7 games. Yep, both Eastern Conference matchups are both going to 7 games. And here we are, the Toronto Raptors taking on the LA Lakers. King James versus versus taking on Pascal Siakam and Kyle Lowry. So, who's going to win? The duo in LA, AD and LeBron, or the resentful, brave, and underdogs Raptors? Well, find out next video on Psych!
That's the wrong number!
It's going to be the LA Lakers losing to the Toronto Raptors in 7 games. Yeah, you heard it. The Toronto Raptors are going to be NBA champions back to back. Well, that's it. Bye, guys. Hope you enjoyed that video, and peace out. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button.